So tomorrow we're going to be doing a shipment mostly with the inventory that we bought together in this video when I was in El Paso going to all those academies. But we have stayed at a couple Walmarts, and there was one time when I went in and picked up some inventory while we were just shopping around because I thought at a first glance that it looked really good. Now this was before I added Keepa to my inventory lab, and I think I was a little bit overexcited on this buy, so let me go grab it out of the back because we're probably going to have to make a return, and I want to share with you why, even though this might look like a good purchase, it's probably not going to end up being good for me. And hopefully that'll help you to analyze some deals, especially before you ship it into Amazon, because that's kind of the last resort, because then you'd have to get it back. Sorry, it's so windy right now in New Mexico. This wind is insane. Oh my gosh. That just ripped out of my hand. I could have closed my door earlier today without slamming it. So it's all of these guys right here. See, it won't even close. Oh gosh. Jeez, now I have to redo my hair. Oh my gosh, I look so bad. We'll just leave it crazy down today. I'll be a lion. So this inventory that I picked up, I got from Walmart. They're $20 each. I thought this was gonna be a big score. Walk into Walmart, 10 minutes later, walk out, make $150. And I think this would still be kind of profitable. But let's just scan it up together. It's these little Dolly Parton perfume things. You guys might have seen them on clearance at your Walmart. I actually first saw this product when I was doing my first little round of online arbitrage that I just uploaded the video with literally a week ago today, where I was with Warner from Fields of Profit helping me out. So when I saw these in the store, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I saw that product at Amazon, saw that it could be pretty profitable, but they were out of stock online. So real quickly, we're just gonna go ahead and scan it up using Scoutify2, the app that I have now Keepa integrated with, and I do have a video about that if you do need to integrate Keepa with your Scoutify2. When we pull it up, it doesn't actually look too bad. Of course, since I haven't been sourcing it forever, I need to log back into Seller Central. My Amazon sales have been really down recently, but that's because I sourced so much in January, and I started off this month really good, but it's really slowed down for me because I've sold as much as I need to pay myself this month, and I didn't want to overspend on all my credit cards, so I haven't done as much online arbitrage as I would want to, but hopefully this next week or two I'm going to really start getting back into that, as we'll be hopefully in some BLM land in Arizona somewhere. So if you're in that area, hit me up. Interestingly, actually, so I signed back in. If we just check the restrictions down in here, we can see I can sell it in new condition. And then one other thing to check for with this is, since you don't have any FBA offers right now, especially since it's a perfume, you might not actually be able to send it into Amazon. This isn't the reason that I didn't think it was profitable, and I actually might be wrong now. See, like I said, really bad sales on Amazon. It has been pretty good for me for the rest of the month. I just haven't shipped any inventory in and probably like 5 weeks. But if we click this little camera up here and we search, we can see in the corner of this screen whether or not it's a part of the hazmat goods program and you can't ship it into FBA. You would see that right over here. I'm just gonna search for a product to show you what that would look like. Oh, matches. That was a big one. Matches. 75 count. That was a product from way early sourcing that I wasn't able to ship in. Diamond long reach matches, 75 count. You're not able to send this into Amazon, and you can tell that by this little arrow over here. If you click on that, when you have one of these products, you can see that it says the product is not currently eligible for FBA because product regulated as dangerous goods hazmat. That was my first thought with this, since there were no FBA offers, but that little FBA eligibility thing over there didn't show up. So if we go back over into Scoutify2, this actually looks like I might ship it in. I was thinking I wasn't because I thought the price went down, but maybe they sold out super fast. Because if we go and look on the Amazon listing itself, it does have a decent amount of ratings. Not a ton. It's ranked 75,000 and there's 164 ratings on it. But if we look down here, it doesn't look like there's actually a buy box on it. You have to click in to see all buying options, which isn't the best. Normally I like to see a buy box. But it does actually look like I'm making about $13 on this. $20 purchase, which is really good, over 60% ROI. But let me show you why I was thinking that this might not be good. I'm going to go into research, and then down here I have Keepa, so I'll click into Keepa. Okay, and this is actually pretty good to show as well, because my Keepa right now, you can just see the sales chart. You can't actually see any time that it's sold. You just see the sales price, and this is what I was worried about. You see the sales price used to be around 50s, and then I don't know how much it was selling there because I can't see that right now. I'll show you why in a second. And then the price really dropped. And I'm guessing that's because a lot of new sellers came onto the listing, but it seems to have stabled out right above 40. The reason we can't see all of this is because for whatever reason, Keepa actually logged me out. So if I log into my Keepa subscription, and if you don't have a Keepa subscription, I would highly recommend it. It's about $23 a month. It's 19 euros, so the price fluctuates month to month. It's anywhere from like $20 to $25. But learning some tips and tricks with Keepa has really helped me to source better, and I think is going to make my money last a lot longer, because there's some things that, even like I talked about in that Academy video, I had purchased before that I wouldn't purchase now that I have Keepa, and look at some variations info. So now scrolling back out, we can see a lot more information here. And we do see that there's a pretty decent amount of sales volume. All of these little ticks down are times that it sells, and I can actually go on my computer and check SellerAmp in a second to see how often it thinks it's selling every single month. Oh, and you can even look down here. There's 64 drops per month in beauty and personal care, meaning that it probably sells 64 times in the month. One interesting thing to look at though is if we go up here to this pink, no, not that, come on, scroll back up. If we go up here to this pink buy box line, there hasn't really been a buy box. There's a buy box kind of right in this area over here, and then there's buy boxes over here, and they're right around like the $39 mark. And so I guess that's what Amazon thinks is a fair price, but for some reason the buy box hasn't always been on there. I'm not sure, and that's because there isn't really FBA. What I'm gonna do now is just turn on this new third-party FBA, and it looks like that price is sticking right around $40, but they're not always on the listing. There have been a lot more offers on the listing recently, as we can see. But the reason that I was kind of wary of picking this up is because we saw that Keepa price is pretty stable over the past few months, right around that $45 price point. But if we look down here, this green line is the number of new offers who are coming onto the listing. Or no, sorry, what? The reason that I was thinking that I wouldn't pick this up is because I misread this bottom Keepa chart here. You see the green and blue lines. If we look over at the key, the green line is the review count, the blue line is the new offer count. I was thinking that the green line was the new offer count, and if that was the case, this would make me a little wary, because if we look here, that green line is just steadily increasing, and the new offer count is staying relatively consistent. If the new offer count starts to rise a lot, normally that means that the price is primed to tank, and that's what I was worried was going to happen up here. But the price seems to be relatively consistent, and even if the price was to drop, let's say back here down to the $40, which is kind of where all the FBA offers are, it's only making $9.98, and I didn't use my sales tax exempt, so I don't even know if I'm necessarily going to send this in at that $45 price point. But before I decide whether or not I'm actually going to send this in, because now I'm thinking that I might wait on it a little bit more to make sure that that price line stays steady, because I know that these just went clearance on Walmart as of 2 to 3 weeks ago, so the FBA shipment should be getting in now. There's one more thing that we can check, and that's about any IP problems with this brand, which would either be the Eau de Toilette spray or Scent from Above or even Dolly Parton. And the way that I do that right now is just through a website. Let me show you that. So back here on my computer, what I can just do is go to Seller Journal Greenlight, and that is kind of a database of a bunch of brands who issue IP claims, which is pretty much what those IP alert softwares do. They might have a few more, but having 956 brands that issue IP claims or give you any problems is pretty helpful. And we can even go ahead and look at SellerAmp, which I also have installed, and I can just look at that first. Amazon listing, Dolly Parton, Scent Beauty. That's going to be the brand. We can see that right here. Scent Beauty, not Eau de Toilette. Saying that very bad, but we'll look at that in a second. And here we can look at Scent Beauty. Doesn't seem to be any records of that brand doing anything bad. We can also look for the other one. Doesn't seem to be an issue. And going over to the listing here, we can see it's estimated at 112 sales a month, but there still is no buy box. Interestingly, it says yes, this is on the dangerous goods program, so I can check on Inventory Lab. But when I went into Inventory Lab and actually checked it, even though it's dangerous goods, that just means that I'm gonna have to ship it separately from the rest of my inventory, not that I can't ship it into FBA. It's not a hazmat problem, and that's something that we'll be able to see here because I already have it. Oh, did I take it out already, Dolly? Yep, I did. And one other thing to know about these as we're adding this is for expiration dates, even though it doesn't say an expiration, you see that little open jar there, it says 36M. That means that it expires 36 months from when you open it, and since this is still sealed, all I'm going to do is put 3 years from today. So it would be 02, 21, 20, 25. No batteries, average cost per unit, that's going to be $20. Plus, I was in the sales tax of El Paso, and I didn't use my sales tax certificate because I just checked out self-checkout, which is not a good idea. $21.65, and then if we use this $45.89, we see we're making $13, and we might be able to charge a little bit higher, but at that $45 price point, I think that's what we might be able to get for it. And I have 2, 4, 6, 7. I think I have 8 of them. One of them is somewhere else in the van because I use that as a prop in a video. Oh, nice. The wind blew off our insulation. That's fun. So I'm just going to put 7 for now, and if I find the 8th, we'll be good. Okay, add to the batch, and this is where Amazon will validate it and let us know if we can actually ship it in FBA, because this is an FBA workflow. And since there's no warnings here, just says that it hasn't connected an establishment with Inventory Lab Print because I don't have my printer plugged in. But now that's all set up there. We've added just under $100 of profit on there. The one last thing to look at is on SellerAmp itself, which I do have a link for down in the description as well if you need it for online arbitrage. But we can see over in the corner here, I can look to see if there is any IP analysis, and it says no known IP issues, which is corroborated over here by Seller Journal Greenlight. And the other good thing is that it's estimating that time to sale is only 1 day, which is pretty nice. So this video didn't exactly go as I planned. I kind of picked these up relatively impulsively. Thought that I was going to have to return them because initially looking at it, I thought that there were so many people hopping on the listing, the price was going to tank, and I expected the price to be tanked by now. So definitely make sure that you're doing some extra research before you ship it in, and don't miss out on looking through all these things if you're questionable about a product, because this extra, 15-20 minutes of research ensures that I'm probably going to make about $100 on these instead of returning it for no product or sending in a product that's not actually going to make me money, which is something that I've done way more often than I like to admit, and is why I was thinking I was going to return these, because I'm trying to get better about only sending in stuff that I know will sell and will sell quickly. Watch that Academy sourcing video here, my first foray into online arbitrage here. Subscribe for that shipment video that I'm probably going to be filming tomorrow, where we just might be shipping these guys out to FBA.